Roberts University is now forcing all incoming freshmen to use a Fitbit as a part of their whole person education program. Now, if you don't want to wear a Fitbit, you don't necessarily have to. You can go ahead and log in your physical activity instead. But there are a number of students that are worried about the privacy issues involving the Fitbit. Now, it has a GPS tracking device. It also has the ability to monitor your heart rate. So since Oral Roberts University is a right-wing religious institution that does not believe in premarital sex, they're worried that the Fitbits will be used to keep track of the students who might not be following the university's honor code. What do you guys think about this?
I do think it's a violation. It's an absurd, big brother-ish kind of, and big brotherish, and when you throw in the Puritanism, you could easily be in a situation where you're busting people for, and you can, and busting people can take on all kinds of different manifestations when you're in college, right? I mean, they can drag you before the honor committee or whatever the hell they call it at Oral Roberts University for any number of things.
Yes. I remember a few years ago, actually at this point it might have been like 5 years ago or something, Brigham Young University went after one of their basketball players for having premarital sex. And so it's not like rare that stuff like this happens at religious institutions. It happens. If they have a religious code or a moral code or some sort of honor code as they have at Oral Roberts University, then if there's a way for them to find out when you're being unfaithful or whatever, then they're gonna find you. They're gonna track you. They're gonna do something about it. I don't know if they're gonna use the Fitbit to do that, but I do have a Fitbit and I know how it works, and it definitely does keep track of your heart rate. And so if you're leaving your dorm room at 3 in the morning and they can track via GPS where you're going, and then all of a sudden your heart rate spikes, are you working out at 3 in the morning or are you getting it in?
Maybe you saw a spider.
Good point.
That's the first time you can use the spider excuse. The other thing that I remember that BYU story vaguely, very vaguely, and I thought the thing that was very disturbing about that was something that you find on a lot of these campuses that involve Puritanism or heavy religious. There was a shaming associated with it.
Yes.
And that community shaming is a really disturbing thing. And that can happen without some formal committee, right? All they have to do, that can be a controlled leak. So this thing that seems big brothery, it can take on a formal sort of reprimand, or it can take on just a shaming in that community that could be even worse than a formal reprimand.
And I like that you brought that up, because there was the shaming component of that story when it involved a male basketball star on campus. Can you imagine how bad that shaming would be if it wasn't an athletic star and if it was a woman attending the university? Because we know that that kind of, slut shaming happens more often toward women, and it's even exacerbated when you're in a religious situation. And I think it makes it even worse if you're on a college campus that has this kind of like honor code. So I think it's bad all around. Now, they have Oral Roberts University has responded to these accusations, and they're like, no, we're not interested in tracking people. Believe me, we're not going to do that. We just want to make sure our students are healthy. And if they want to forego the, Fitbit completely and just log things manually, they can do that as well. So who knows? Also, I feel like if you believe in the kind of stuff that Oral Roberts University believes in, then you probably shouldn't go to a comedy show. Comedy shows are usually super vulgar and awesome.
They break rules. Yeah. It's all about breaking.
That's the whole point.
Oral Roberts was the guy who said that God, he needed $1 million. God said, get $1 million or he's going to kill him. That was the guy, right? Oral Roberts.
Right.
And I remember Saturday Night Live did the best sketch. They opened up the scene, and it was Oral Roberts, and all of a sudden you hear God, and he's like, oh, hello, God. And he's like, where's the money?
Oral Roberts also had this long speech about oral sex and how good it feels and how good it tastes. Do you guys remember that?
No.
What? Okay, so long time ago when I first started working at TYT, this is one of my favorite TYT moments. Jank had uncovered this audio of Oral Roberts speaking about oral sex and how sacrilege it is, right? It's disgusting. That's what he was trying to get through in talking about it. But instead, he does what a lot of anti-gay right-wingers do. While talking about gay sex, he makes it seem like he wants it so fucking bad. It feels so fucking good, but I can't do it. It's wrong, right? People who are straight don't talk about gay sex like that, right? Like, I don't really ever think about gay sex. Like, it's just not interesting to me. I don't mind when people do it. Like, that's your life. This is my life. It's cool. Like, but the way that right-wingers talk about anal sex is amazing.